Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be episode 8 of our campaign series, Alone in the Shadows of Brimstone. Characters have just completed their first combat during this exploration mission. Now, in order to solve this mission, we have to make sure that there are no unexplored areas in the mine. Now, unfortunately, we've got two separate paths right now. One of them is going to require us to cross this corrosive pools with acid drips. So I'm kind of caught between what direction we should go. If we take this path first, we kind of know basically how much damage we're going to gain while we're crossing this area, and then explore whatever's remaining in that portion. We could also head south. We're closer to that. And then if we complete this, we still have to cross the corrosive pool. So I'm not quite sure which will be the best way. We did get a new addition to the party, and that's this blacksmith. And he's attached to Sister Hale. Now we do have two active remains in play cards. We have Wanted Men. All outlaw enemies are +2 health and +1 damage with their attacks. All enemies on the next threat card drawn gain keyword outlaw. Okay, then we have Hell Siege. Anytime a 7 is rolled for the Hold Back the Darkness roll, you must choose add a Growing Dread card to the stack, or every hero takes 2 corruption hits, and that remains in play. So based upon how we're doing with corruption, we might end up taking that route rather than adding Growing Dread cards. So we're ready to begin, and I guess we will start by holding back the darkness. Make the roll. We've rolled a 9, so we're in good shape. Currently we're in the 7+ area. So we'll get started with our activations. We're going to begin with the Gunslinger, and he has an initiative of 6. Here's his roll. He rolls a 1, so he's going to be able to gain a grit token. So we'll give Silas a grit token, which is nice, and then we'll have him move 1 space. And I guess we're going to take the shorter way first. We'll try that. That's going to complete Silas's activation. We'll move on to Hana Okabe. Here's her roll for movement. And she rolls a 6. Okay. So I guess we'll have her move 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she'll take a look to see what is down the path. And she draws a T-junction passage. No exploration token. All right. All right, so we've adjusted the map. This is going to complicate things for us because now we've got 3 different areas we have to clear out. So, all right, that's going to bring Hana Okabe's turn done. Now the blacksmith is going to activate. He has an initiative of 3, and he has a standardized movement of 4. So he has 4 movement points. So I guess we will move him 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that'll bring his turn to a close. And finally, we have Sister Hale. She'll roll for movement. And she rolls a 1, so that's going to get her a grit. So we'll give her a grit token, and she will move 1 space. All right. No one has any wounds except Hana Okabe, so she won't be able to utilize her faith healing or cure. The cure, we'll have to take a look at that. Well, the cure actually has a range of 6, so she can do it. You don't have to be adjacent to cast that. It costs 1 faith point, so I think we will try it. Might as well. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would work. So we'll cast it with 1 faith point. She needs to roll a 9 or better to do so. And she's got a 6, so no help there. We can spend the other 2 faith points we've got to raise that. That won't be enough to cast it, though. So that'll bring her turn to a close, and that is the end of the round. So we will hold back the darkness once again. Hopefully not rolling a 7. Oh, and incidentally, we have to move our depth up from 14 to 13 now because we've got a new area to explore. Here's the roll. We've rolled a 10, so we are good. And we will start with activating Silas Barrow. He rolls a 3, so we'll have him move 1, 2, and I'll leave him there. We don't want to block it out. This way Sister Hale could still get through. That'll finish his activation. We'll move on to Hana Okabe. She rolls, an 8. We need to roll for one die. She rolls a 2, so we'll have her move 1 and 2, I guess. Yeah, she'll do that. Could have her do a scavenge, but I think we're got enough trouble already. So I'll end her turn there. The blacksmith will move next. And we'll just have him move 1, 2, kind of keep him out of the way, and we can decide which way we're going to go. And finally, Sister Hale. She has a movement of 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll bring the round to a close, and we'll start a new Hold Back the Darkness. Okay. We rolled a 7, so we've passed it, but the Hell Siege card is going to kick in. We have to either get a Growing Dread, or we have to take 2 corruption hits. Well, I don't know if we want to do that. Now with this exploration mission, we have immediate dread, so Growing Dread cards have to be revealed immediately rather than being placed in a stack. So our decision is to take the 2 corruption hits. We'd be able to roll for willpower to stop that, I guess. I think for right now, we'll try that. So everybody is going to be taking 2 corruption hits, and I believe that's also going to apply to the blacksmith as well. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do them in order. We'll start with the gunslinger. He has a willpower of 4+. So we'll roll 2 dice, and for every 4+, he can disregard the corruption hit. Okay, he's rolled 1, 4, so he's going to take 1 corruption hit. And we'll mark him accordingly. That was Silas Barrow. That's his 3rd. And then he does have spirit armor with that harmonica, but you can't use that against corruption, so it's only the willpower that will be able to be used. Okay, so next will be Hana Okabe. She has a willpower of 4+ as well. So here's her 2 dice. And she stopped both, which is great. And now we'll move on to the blacksmith. He has a willpower of 4 as well. His resistance level is only 3 though. Here's the roll. He stopped 1. 1 will get through. So we're going to mark the blacksmith with 1 corruption. And his resistance is only 3. And finally, Sister Hale. She has a willpower of 3+. Okay, so here's the roll. And she stopped 1 of them, and 1 will get through. And that's going to be her 2nd corruption point. All right, so we've dealt with that. And so now we will activate in order, starting with the gunslinger. Let's see how much movement he has. He's got a 6. I guess we'll just check this area out. So he'll move 1, 2, and 3. And we'll draw a map card and see what we see. This time we find a cross passage, no exploration token. Oh boy, this is getting more and more complicated. So we'll move up our depth to 12 and we'll get out a cross passage. All right, so we've placed a cross passage in there. One of them is obviously going to be capped no matter what. We won't be able to get a passage through there. So we've got another 2 possible locations to explore. Oh boy. Okay, that's going to finish the Gunslinger's activation. We'll move on to Hana Okabe, and she will roll for movement. Okay, here's her movement roll. She rolls 4, so we'll have her move 1, 2, 3. And I'll leave her there so that she can allow someone else to move through. And I think that'll finish her activation. I wonder if we should do some scavenging. I think I'll try one scavenge roll with her. We'll try it. Here's the scavenge attempt. She has 2 6s, so we've got 2 successes there. We'll place a scavenge token down in that passage, and then we'll get our scavenge cards. Okay, here's the first of the 2 scavenges for her. It's a small find, $50 and 10 XP. So we've given her $50 and 10 XP. Here's the second one. And this is nothing here, so just 10 XP. So we'll give her another 10 XP. Okay, so that's going to finish Hana Okabe. We'll move on to the blacksmith. He has a movement of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, we will activate Sister Hale and we'll roll for movement. She rolls a 3, so she will get 3 movement points. 1, 2, and I guess we'll just leave her there. And she might as well try one of her, using her faith tokens, and see if we can cast some of these blessings that she has. Well, we'll start out by having her try the faith healing spell. We'll spend 1 faith, and she needs to get a 6 or better to cast that. She's done it, so she can heal D3 wounds from herself or an adjacent hero. And we only have 1 wound on any of the people. That'll be Hana Okabe. She'll heal that. Next, she's going to try to cast the Cure blessing. That'll also cost 1 faith healing, and we need to get a 9 or better to be successful. She rolls a 9. Okay, so we can, in this turn, heal D3 sanity. Okay. So we'll roll a D3 and see how much we can heal. And she rolls a 3. So she's going to heal 3 sanity from herself. So we'll take 3 sanity away from her, moving her down to 1 of 12. So we're in pretty good shape in that department. Okay, that's going to complete the round. We'll clear up these cards, and then we will start a new Hold Back the Darkness. Okay. We've rolled a 9, so we're good, and we'll start with the Gunslinger, Silas Barrow. Let's see what kind of movement he has. Rolls a 6. Okay, I guess we'll just keep going straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we'll see what he sees down the path. And he finds a long passage, no exploration token. Moves our depth down to 11. And this is getting much more complicated than I think we're going to be able to solve. And I made an error on our depth. We should only be down 4. We start with the starting passage and the T-junction. We're free. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should be down 1, 2, 3, 4. We should be at 12 right now. That's the correct level. Okay. Next is going to be Hana Okabe, and we'll have her roll for movement. She rolls a 4, so we'll have her go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then might as well have her do a scavenge. Why not? She has 1 success, so we'll place a scavenge token down there. Get out our scavenge deck, and we'll give that a cut and see what she finds. And she gets something shiny. Okay, 10 XP, and we're going to roll a D6 to see what it is. A A 6. She gets an artifact. Okay. And she finds the artifact, Crushed Darkstone. You may consume the Crushed Darkstone, discard, to heal 2d6 wounds and double your combat until the end of the turn. If you do, you also gain a corruption point, ignoring willpower. All right, well, we'll give that to Hana Okabe. All right, so that completes our scavenging for Hana. And now we'll move on to the blacksmith. He has a movement of 4. I guess, I don't know. We have to spend more time to go to that path. Either way, I've got to explore all of these if we're going to finish this. And that's going to be, I think, pretty hard. Well, I think we'll just have him move here. And that'll be it. I'll probably try to go that way and look. It's a little closer. So next is Sister Hale. We'll have her roll for movement. She rolls a 1. That'll get her grit. Okay. That's always welcome. We'll give her a grit. That's her second. And she'll move ahead 1 space. And I guess we'll have her scavenge too. We can scavenge up to twice in each passage with this party size. Here's the scavenge. She has nothing there, 3 4s. Okay, that's going to bring the round to a close, and we'll go back to holding back the darkness. Here's our hold back the darkness roll. We've got an 11, so we're good. And we'll start with Silas Barrow. Here's his roll. He rolls a 2, so we'll have him move 1 and 2, and that's as far as he can get. Might as well have him try a scavenge. Okay, here's the roll. He has no success. That'll end his turn. Hana Okabe is up next. She rolls a 5 for movement, so I guess we'll have her take a look down that passage. And she finds a summoning chamber. Okay, that does have an advanced encounter, and at the same time this is also a Crimson Hand adventure, so we're going to have to make a roll for that as well. Let's get that laid out. Okay, we've adjusted our map. We've placed an exploration token there. We're going to make a roll to see if there will be the advanced encounter. On a 1, 2, or 3 there will be. On a 4, 5, or 6 there won't. It's a 6, so we will not have the advanced encounter. But now we have to roll to see if there will be a Crimson Hand encounter. Same thing, a 1, 2, or 3, they have to also place a Crimson Hand encounter. So here's the roll. It's a 2, so there will be a Crimson Hand encounter. So we'll be adding a Crimson Hand encounter there. And that completes Hana Okabe. We'll move on to the blacksmith. And let's see what we want to do with him. She's currently in this space. So we got a gap in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess we'll have him 1, 2, 3. We'll have him move there. Okay, and then finally Sister Hale will roll for movement. She has a 1. It would get her another grit, and she can't use that. So I guess we'll just have her move up 1. And then that'll be the end of the activations. So we're going to go now to the exploration portion of the turn. We'll see what this area is. And we have a gate, okay, and it has an encounter symbol on there. It says all exploration tokens with a clue icon have 1 less door or gate in them. Anytime you reveal an exploration token, roll a d6 for each. Okay, so this means that there's 1 gate, and there's 1 less because it is also a clue token. So that means there are no exits in this place. So we can get rid of those. That helps a little, and we'll block those off. All right, so that blocks off the 2 exits out of there. We'll have to resolve this encounter now. We'll see what that is. And this one is Mark of Shiha. Okay. Mark of Shiha reads, a large banner hangs from the wall here depicting a blood-red hand with its fingers splayed out, save for the two central fingers, which are pressed tightly together. You have seen this symbol before, the Order of the Crimson Hand. If they are involved, there's no telling what evil may have been awakened. Okay, we have to do a lore 5+ test. And that's all heroes. It says, if successful, gain 10 XP and you may recover a grit. If failed, move the darkness forward 1 space on the depth track. Okay, so we'll have to make lore 5+ tests. We'll begin with the gunslinger. He has a lore value of 2. So he'll get 2 dice for this test. And we're looking for a 5+. And he's got it. He's got 1 success. It'll get him 10 XP. He's already at maximum grit, unfortunately, so we'll give him 10 XP. All right, next is Hana Okabe. She has a lore value of 2 as well. She doesn't get anything else. Okay, so here's her lore test. And she has failed. So we have to move the darkness forward 1 space. It moves it up to 5. And that's that. Okay, next is the blacksmith. And the blacksmith, I'm going to have to check into that. I think he has to perform these tests, but he has a ability level of 1 in everything other than what's listed if there's any specials on his card. I'm going to check that. Yeah, it says he has a skill of 2 in all skills. So he'll get 2 for his lore check. He's got 2 successes. That would earn him 20 XP. He cannot earn XP. So he just gets that special ally XP at the end of the mission. So I guess that's it for that. Finally, we have Sister Hale. She has a lore value of 3. So we'll have her roll 3 dice. And she has no successes. So we would have to move. Yeah, I think we'll have her spend a grit. I'll have her spend a grit and re-roll that. I don't want to move that darkness up any further. And she's passed it this time. She's got 2 successes. That'll earn her 20 XP. That's great. All right, so that's going to bring the round to a close, and we'll hold the darkness back again. I'm kind of leery about whether or not we're going to be able to complete this thing, but we'll try. There's just too many exits. We'll just never be able to clear all these, but we'll try. Here's the roll for holding back the darkness. Okay, we've got a 9, and currently our darkness level is at 7+, so we're good. We'll start by activating Silas Barrel. He rolls a 4, so I guess he'll head that way. That's not connected. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he'll try a scavenge in that passage. He's got no success. That'll end his activation. We'll move on to Hana. Here's her roll. She rolls a 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll have her move there, and she'll try a scavenge. She's got 1 success. Okay, we'll get the scavenge deck out and shuffle that up and see what she finds. Okay, here's her scavenge deck, and she finds a small find, $50 and 10 XP. That's great. Okay, that'll bring her turn to a close, and the blacksmith is up next. So he'll move his 4 points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. He can't scavenge, so we'll move on now to Sister Hale. She rolls a 6. Well, we'll have her file in back, and she's on both passages, so I'll have her. We did one scavenge already in that first passage. I'll have her do a second scavenge in this one. And that's, you only place that if it's successful. So, okay, here is roll. She has no success, so we will end the round and hold back the darkness once again. So we'll hold back the darkness. We rolled a 4, so we failed, and that is going to move the darkness up to 6, and that's going to reveal a growing dread, which we have to reveal immediately. That card is revealed to be terrible dread. The darkness ahead creeps its way into your mind and your soul. The darkness moves one step forward on the depth track. If this moves it onto a blood splatter or growing dread space, every hero takes a corruption. Well, that'll move it up to 7, and that will not institute any of those things. 7 is a blank space, so we've solved that one at least. And so now we will activate in order, beginning with Silas. He rolls a 5, so he'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, and take a look what is up ahead. This time he finds the black pool. Has an advanced encounter possibly, black blood of the earth. So we'll lay that out and then see what we've got up ahead. All right, so we have laid out the black pool, and we got an exploration token there. Now we have to roll to see if there's going to be the advanced encounter. On a 1, 2, or 3, there will be. It's a 4, so no advanced encounter. Now we have to roll to see if there will be a Crimson Hand encounter. Same thing, 1, 2, or 3. And it's a 1, so there will be a Crimson Hand encounter. We'll draw one from the Crimson Hand encounters deck, and that'll finish Silas's activation. We'll move on to Hana Okabe. Here's her roll. She rolls a 2, so we'll have her move up 1 and 2. And I can't scavenge because we have an unactivated exploration token, so that will end that round. He's actually on that space there. And then we will move on to the blacksmith with a movement of 4. And he'll move 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then Sister Hale. She rolls a 4, so we'll have her move 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we'll go to our exploration phase and find out the doors that we have. And this one is an attack. It has 1 door. So using our card layout, we'll find out where the door is not. And then the other 2 will, or where the door is rather. Here's the roll. It's a 6, so the door will be north of us. So the other 2 will be blocked off. And then we have to resolve this encounter before we do the attack. And we'll do that now. Here is the encounter. You don't belong here. Okay, let's take a closer look at that. And that reads, a Crimson Hand guard stands at the far end of the room, pointing at you and shouting, running toward a large bell suspended from the wall. You have only moments to stop him before he sounds the alarm to warn the others. All right. We have to choose a hero to make an agility 6+ test. Our best agility is a 3, and that is either the gunslinger or the samurai. Now, Hana does not have any grit tokens, so I guess since they have the same agility, we'll have Silas Barrow take the attempt. He has 2 grit tokens. So he'll make the Agility 6 Plus test roll. And here's the roll. He's done it. He's rolled 3 6s. That's absolutely amazing. It says, if successful, you draw your weapon and take down the guard before he reaches the bell. Gain 30 XP. All right. So Silas has 30 XP. That will cover this You Don't Belong here, so we don't have to do any of the failed stuff on that. But now we have to determine what the source of the attack is. Now, since this is a Crimson Hand adventure, it says common enemies. Whenever a threat card would be drawn, roll a d6 on a roll of 1, 2, or 3. Instead, the heroes are attacked by Crimson Hand, and that'll be according to the number of heroes in the party. We'll determine how many Crimson Hand we'd be fighting. And then, whenever Crimson Hand enemies are encountered, we roll a d6, and they could have a trait card. So we'll see if we are going to have a Crimson Hand common enemy. The result is a 6, so we will not. And this will be just a standard threat card. So we'll be drawing a medium threat, and we end up with 2 peril dice of the Lost Army. Okay, so we'll get 2 peril dice out and see how many of these Lost Army guys are out here. Okay, here's the roll. And we've rolled a total of 9. So there'll be 9 of them in that room. All right, we've laid out 9 of the Lost Army. They have an initiative of 2. They're medium-sized creatures. They have the following abilities: Shootout, Formation. So in the case of the Lost Army, they don't use the setup that I've laid out here. It's called Formation. The Lost Army are organized and regimental in their deployment. To represent this, they have a standard ability formation. Fighting as a ranked group allows them to work together as a team, staying close so as to support one another. Enemies with formation are always set up in every space rather than skipping over spaces to form the normal checkerboard pattern. All right, so in this case, they're going to be placed in lines, so we'll take care of that. Okay, so we've placed them in ranks now, and in order to qualify as a rank, you have to have at least 3 units in a line. So as an example, this is a rank here. If there was a separation between them, that would not be considered a rank. Okay. It also says moving. Models with formation will move and target as normal, but will always try to end their move adjacent to as many other models from their enemy group as possible, if there is an option to do so. This means that if currently out of formation, the models will always move to get back into formation. Okay. Now they have the Fear 2. Heroes starting their activation adjacent automatically takes 2 horror hits, the battle line we discussed. While in formation, a Lost Army model adds Armor 5+ and only makes a retreat move on the roll of 6 instead of a 4, 5, or 6. And they have Hell Musket Volley. Ranged attack, range of 10. Shots are equal to the number of Lost Army soldiers in a line of sight to the target. They do damage 1. Their 2-hit is a ranged of 5+, melee 3+, 1 combat, 6 damage. They have 4 defense. Now, we also have this Wanted Man card that is active. And that says all outlaw enemies are +2 health and +1 damage with their attacks. All enemies on the next threat card drawn gain the keyword outlaw. So in addition to Undead, Soldier, Lost Army, they will also have Outlaw, which is going to give them +2 health and +1 to damage. So we'll leave this card out on their display so we can account for that. So we're ready to begin the battle. We have to do that by starting with a Hold Back the Darkness. We were actually in the middle of an activation, but it doesn't matter. So we're going to hold back the darkness. I'm going to get a count on our depth right now. Make sure I've got that accounted for. Yeah, our depth track now is at 9, so we're needing an 8+ in order to hold back the darkness. Okay, here's the roll. We've rolled a 10, so we're good. No problems there. And we will activate in order. We'll begin with the gunslinger, and I think he is going to use his pistol fanning. Once per turn, use a grit to double the number of shots you get with a single-handed weapon for one attack. So, right now, he's got his coach gun out. He actually has both of his hands are filled right now, because these are single-handed weapons, so he's actually got one in each hand. I'm not going to use the double, but I can choose which to use. Now the problem is the coach gun is better. It's only got a range of 2 though. And I do have ricochet bullets, which allow us to forego any of the range of these weapons, single-handed weapon that he uses. So I think we'll try that. I'm going to spend a ricochet bullet. Doesn't seem really logical with a coach gun, but we'll do that. And that says discard a ricochet shot token to choose a target without regard to range, line of sight, or being adjacent to it. A ricochet shot token may be used in addition with another type of specialty ammo. Okay, so we'll do that. He's going to be using his pistol fanning. Once per turn, use a grit to double the number of shots you get with a single-handed gun. Okay, that is a single-handed gun for one attack. To use this ability, you must have one hand open. So, okay, right now he's got both hands, one in a pistol, one with the coach gun. So in that case, I'll save the pistol fanning, and we'll just use his standard ranged attack with the pistol. Pistol has a range of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can hit up to the second rank, and his shots are equal to 2, so he gets 2 shots. He hits on a 3+. Here's the attack roll. He's got 1 hit. Okay. So I'm going to keep that ricochet token for later. He has 1 hit. He has 2 grit. So, well, I suppose we're going to use a grit and re-roll our 2 hit. So I'll do that. Now I have the choice of re-rolling both in an attempt to try to get a critical hit. Taking a little bit of a risk there, but I think we'll keep one since we've got the hit, and we'll re-roll the other. Let's try that. We got a 4, so we've got 2 hits to apply. Okay. Well, I guess we will apply them to the front rank here. We'll start out with that one first, and we'll roll damage for him. Now, they have a defense of 4, and they have +2 health, so their health is 5 right now. Okay, here's the damage roll for the shot. He rolled a 1, so there's no damage from that. We'll try the second hit against that. Same thing, -4 defense. He's got a 5, so 5 minus 4 is 1. We'll do 1 point of damage to that creature. So we'll mark him with 1. I don't know, I don't think this is going to work out too well, folks, because these things are going to have 5 health with 4 defense. Not good. Okay, that's going to end his round. We'll move on to Hana Okabe. She's up next. And we'll have her roll for movement. She's blocked out. She rolls a 5, so she can't do anything other than just stay where she is. Next up is the blacksmith. He has a movement of 4. And I guess we'll move him up 1. He doesn't have a ranged attack. So now the Lost Army is going to activate. The Lost Army has a movement of 2, so I guess they would move up 2 spaces in order, keeping the regimental formation. That wound is on him. And then finally, Sister Hale is up. Okay, Sister Hale will roll for movement. She rolls a 5. She can't get through, so all she can do is stay where she is. Now she does have this judgment, and it has a faith cost of 2. It says choose a model on your map tile that just took 1 or more wounds. That model immediately takes a single hit that does a number of wounds equal to its defense, ignoring defense. But it says choose an enemy model on your map tile. Well, there are no enemy models on her map tile, so we can't do that. So that's going to bring the round to a close, and I think we're going to escape the mine. I really do. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 5 is 45 hit points with 4 damage, or 4 defense rather. Not to mention they're going to be gaining +2, +1 damage to their attacks. So I don't think that that's going to work out too well. I almost forgot they have ranged attacks that they're going to be using. I forgot about that. They've moved like you would with a regiment, and then they're going to fire. So they're going to let loose a Hell musket volley. And they're going to get a number of shots equal to the number of models in line of sight to the target. Well, all of them are in line of sight. Yeah. So we're going to roll 9 dice and see if they can hit. Their range to hit is 5+, so we got to do that. So here is their 9 dice Hell musket volley. And mercifully, they've only rolled 1 hit. Okay, so they can apply that to whoever they want. I guess we'll just make a targeting roll to see who they target. And I'll get a D4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do it that way. Okay, here's the targeting roll. It's a 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to target Hana with that, so she's going to take 1 hit. She can try to defend that with her defense. She has a defense of 3+. She's failed, so she is going to take a total of 6 damage +1 because of the Wanted Men card. So she's going to take 7 damage. So we're going to mark her with 7 damage. She's at 7 of 10 just from that first volley. So I think we're getting out of here. So before we begin to hold back the darkness for the next round, I am going to declare we're fleeing the mine. Now the problem with that is if we do flee, Hana cannot flee. She has code of honor. May not use guns or explosives and may not voluntarily flee from the adventure, though the rest of the hero posse may flee without you. Oh boy. So Hana tells her friends, she says, you flee if you wish, but my honor demands that I stay. So the party kind of agrees amongst themselves that they will stay for at least the time being. So we'll start out with a hold back the darkness roll. Now I've recalculated, we are actually at depth of 9 right now. So I need an 8+. Here's our roll. We rolled a 7, so we failed. So the depth is going to go up to an 8. That'll be a darkness card. And in addition, since we've rolled a 7 with the Hell Siege card active, we have to either gain corruption or a growing dread card. So rather than take the corruption, I'll take the growing dread. So we have to get a darkness card and a growing dread card. Okay, the growing dread has to be revealed first, and that's powerful dread. It takes all of your willpower to not simply turn and flee at the sight before you. You are not kidding. Every hero must make a single willpower save. For each failed save, move the darkness 2 steps forward on the depth track. Wow. Okay, so every hero has to make a willpower test. We'll start with Silas Barrow. Okay, he has a willpower of 4 plus. He's made it. He's got a 4. Okay, now the blacksmith. He has a willpower of 4 as well. He rolled a 2, so he failed. Darkness will rise by 2. That will move it up to 10, instituting another darkness card, which we have to resolve. All right. Next is Sister Hale. She has a willpower of 3 plus. And she failed, so that'll move up another 2. That'll institute another growing dread. This I should have just fleed. So another growing dread will have to come out. And now finally, Hana Okabe, 4 plus. And she failed, so that will move up another 2, instituting another darkness card. It's at 14 right now, so we'll get another darkness card out. Oh boy. Okay, the other cards that have to be revealed now is another growing dread. Cosmic insignificance. Staring into the gaping void, you are overcome with the emptiness of knowing that humanity is but a plaything for cosmic whim, the elder gods of old. Every hero takes D6 horror hits. For each failed willpower roll, instead of taking sanity damage, the hero loses 1 sanity permanently. Oh my goodness. All right, every hero is going to take D6 sanity damage. I do have some spirit armor for some of the characters, but this is just unbelievable. Okay, D6 horror hits. We'll start with Silas Barrow. He's going to take 4. Okay, so he's got 4 sanity damage. He has a willpower of 4 plus, so we'll roll that first. See if he can stop any of this. He stopped 3 of the 4, so 1 is going to get through to him. And it says here that instead of taking sanity damage, the hero loses 1 sanity permanently. For each failed willpower roll, instead of taking sanity damage, the hero loses 1 sanity permanently. This is unbelievable. Okay, so he's got 1 right now. He does have Spirit Armor 6 plus, so we'll try that. See if he can stop that. He rolled a 2, so he's going to permanently lose 1 sanity. That's amazing. That'll move him down to 17. We'll mark him at 17. This is terrible. Okay, next is the blacksmith. We'll see how many horror hits he's going to take. He rolls a 1. Okay, so he's going to take 1 horror hit. This is his willpower test. He has a 4 plus willpower. He's failed. So that means he's going to take a permanent loss to his sanity. That will move it down to 7. So I've marked him with 7. Next is Sister Hale. See how many horror hits she takes. And she takes 4. Okay, so she has 4, and she has a willpower of 3 plus. Okay. She stopped all of them except 1, so she's now going to use her Spirit Armor 5 plus. That's what she has. Let's see if this will work. It did not, so she's going to take a permanent loss to sanity, moving her from 12 down to 11. And finally, Hana Okabe, we'll see how many she takes. 6. Okay, 6. That's great. So she'll roll 6 dice, and she can stop that sanity damage with a 4 plus. This is amazing. Well, she stopped all of them except 2. So 2 are going to get through. She has no spirit armor. So that means she's going to lose 2 levels of her permanent sanity. They'll move her from 14 down to 12. All right, so that takes care of the cosmic insignificance. Now we've got 3 darkness cards to resolve. First one, hunted through the void. Oh boy. Leaping out from another dimension to attack, a vicious pack of void hounds savagely tears at you before phasing back out of reality. Every hero takes 3 horror hits. One random hero also takes 6 hits that do 2 damage each. Wow. All right, well, we'll resolve this. Every hero is going to take 3 horror hits. Okay, so we'll start out with Silas Barrow. We'll see if he can roll his willpower. He has a willpower of 4+. He stopped 1, so 2 are going to get through, causing him 2 sanity damage. Whoops. He'll use his spirit armor, and we'll see if he can stop those. He has a 6+ spirit armor with the harmonica. He stopped 1 of them, so 1 of them is done. He'll take 1 sanity damage. We'll mark him with sanity damage. That's his 2nd out of 17. Okay, next up is the blacksmith. Blacksmith is going to take D3 horror hits. Here is his willpower roll. And he's missed all of them, so he's going to take 3 sanity damage. He's at 3 of 7 right now. Okay. And then we have Sister Hale. She has a willpower of 3+. She stopped 1 of them. She'll use her Spirit Armor 5+ to defend against that. She stopped none of them, so she's going to take 2 sanity damage, and we'll mark her with 2 sanity damage. She's at 3 of 11. And finally, Hana Okabe. She has a willpower of 4+. She stopped all of them. What do you know? Okay, now one of the random heroes is going to be also takes 6 hits that do 2 damage each. So we'll get a random hero. I'll use a D4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. It's going to be Hana Okabe. All right, so she is going to take D6 hits that do 2 damage each. It's not D6, it's 6 hits that do 2 damage each. So she's going to have to use her defense, rolling 6 dice to try to stop those. That's what we've got. And she has a defense of 3+. These are going to do 2 each. Okay, she stopped 3 of them. 3 will get through, causing her a total of 6 points of wound damage. That is going to KO her. I accidentally marked that 7 wounds on Silas. It should have been on her. She's going to take 6 more. That's going to KO her. So she'll be at 11 wound damage, which is a KO. Well, that solves the problem out of fleeing. I do have a revive token I could use, but since she's KO'd, and that's one of the requirements, we'll put her as KO'd. All right. We still have more darkness cards to do. Here's the next one. Legions of the Damned. All soldier enemies are now initiative 1 and +2 health remains in play. Well, guess what? The Lost Army is soldier, so they're going to be having 7 health now. And their initiative will move up 1. They're going to be at 3 now for their initiative. Here's the last darkness card, and that's Power of the Void. All void enemies are now +1 combat. These are not void enemies, luckily. So we've resolved all of those. And now we're going to activate in order. We start with the Gunslinger. He's in range now to use his coach gun, range of 2. Coach gun gives him 2 shots, and he uses D8s to hit. So we get to roll 2 D8s. He will have a critical hit on a 6, 7, or 8. Okay, here's his coach gun attack. He's got 2 8s. That's 2 critical hits. Okay, so that's something. Critical hits are going to be plus X damage, where X is equal to the target's printed defense. Okay, so that's what we get for the critical hits. And I guess we'll apply it to both of these characters at the end of the line. And that's going to do a D6 plus 4. So we'll start with this one here. 4 and 4 is 8. His current health is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've killed it. And that's going to earn Silas 30 XP. The next one is the same thing. A D6 plus 4 is their defense. He rolled a 5, so that's 9. He's killed another one with the coach gun, so he's got 2 kills. All right. Next up would be Hana Okabe, but she is KO'd. So we go to the Lost Army. Lost Army is up next. All right, so they're going to move, and they don't want to close adjacent to any of the heroes. So they're going to get as close as they can without being next to them, holding a line. And I handled that wrong the last time. The Hell Musket Volley, you're supposed to place the targeting tokens, the shootout tokens. And we're supposed to double them up as we go. So right now we've got 3 characters. There's a total of 7 of those firing units. So we'll be placing 2 on each, and somebody's going to get an extra one. So we'll put 2 on him, 2 on her, and 2 on Silas. And then one of the 3 is going to end up getting an extra one. And we'll do it 1, 2, 3 with the 3-sided dice. It's 1, so that'll be Silas will get the extra one. We'll have to resolve these individually. Okay. It's kind of complicated. So we'll resolve 3 shots against Silas. They do 1 damage, and they get +1 because of the Wanted Men card. So, okay. And they are going to hit on a 5+. Here's the ranged attack against Silas. And they've got 2 hits. 2 hits. Okay, Silas is going to have to try to defend those with his defense of 5+. Okay. He stopped none of them. Okay, he has no armor. So what we can do is I'll have him use a cigar. He'll use a cigar, and that's going to give him a temporary armor. That'll give him a temporary armor 3+ until the end of the round, so we'll try that. So he'll roll 2 dice for armor roll 3+. And he stopped both of them, so that's good. So his shots against him are complete. And whoops, and we'll move on now to the shots against the blacksmith. He's taking 2 shots, and they're hitting on a 5+. They've done 1 hit to him. He'll do a defense roll. He rolled a 3. His defense is a 3+, so he stopped it. So no shots against him. And finally, the 2 shots against Sister Hale. Okay, they're going to hit on a 5+. They have no hits. Okay, so that completes their activation. The blacksmith would be up next. All right. So I guess he'll move and launch an attack. That's all he can do. We'll have him move up 1, and then he'll launch an attack. He has blacksmith tools. Now that blacksmith does have a special ability called Strongman. Each hero on the same map tile may once per turn re-roll all of their 2 hit rolls of 1 for an attack. So, okay, he's going to do a melee attack. It says all blacksmith melee hits use the peril die for damage. So, all right, he has a combat level of 3 though. So he'll be rolling 3 dice for his melee attack. And we'll see what happens. I don't think he's eligible for any critical hits though. So here's the roll. Okay, he has done no hits. His melee is 5+. So that ends his activation. We move on to Sister Hale. She'll roll for movement. She rolls a 2. So she can't really get into combat position. She could move 1, 2 to that spot. I guess we'll do it. And she'll launch an attack using her Holy Book. She's going to hit on a 4+, so here's the attack. She's got 2 hits. All right, 2 hits. We'll apply the first one to this wounded creature. And creature is going to have a defense of 4. So, all right, now she gets no extra thing for damage, so that's what we've got. Here's the roll. A 5 minus 1 is 4, so that's going to do another hit on that creature. I don't think it's going to matter because we're leaving. And then the second one, we'll roll for damage for that. 3 minus 5 is 0. Okay, or 4. All right, so that's going to bring the round to a close, and we are going to flee now. All right, so the heroes have fled the mine, and they brought the unconscious body of Hana Okabe with them. So we've lost the mission, and we'll read about what that says. That says, if the heroes fail the mission, the darkness escapes the mine and lays waste to the roads and towns in the area. When the heroes travel to town after this adventure, they must each roll twice to see if they add a travel hazard to the journey. Also, one random building in town will have to be destroyed by the escaping darkness. Okay, how we handle this in the solo game is we're going to add a +1 modifier to their first travel hazard roll that they make in overland travel. And we'll be adding that +1 until we reach a town. And the town that will have the destroyed building will be the closest town to this location, in this case Clayton's Ravine. So that means the town of Listina is going to be the target of this damage. All right, so now we go through the end of the mission sequence like we normally would. All right, so we'll roll for their post-mission recovery. Each of the active heroes is going to get a d6 worth of healing, either sanity or wound damage. Hana Okabe will get 2d6 worth, and then she's going to have to roll on the injury table. So we'll start out with Sister Hale. See how much she gets. She rolls a 3, so she can heal the 3 sanity damage she has. That's good. And then we'll go to Silas Barrow. He rolls a 2, so that will allow him to heal 2 sanity damage. So that's good. And finally, the blacksmith. He has 3 sanity damage on him. Here's his roll. He rolls a 4, so he's managed to fully heal. The whole party's healed now. Now we'll have to roll 2d6 for Hana Okabe. She's rolled 12, so that's going to heal all of her damage, 11 wounds, and 1 sanity damage. What do you know? So she'll come back into an upright position on the display. But now she has to roll for an injury table roll. So we'll make a 2d6 roll for injury. Incidentally, if we had any Darkstone, we would be rolling for it at this time and seeing if we get any corruption points from that, but none of them have any Darkstone. So here's her injury chart roll. She's rolled a 7, and that's concussion. Your ears are ringing a little, and you have a headache that won't quit. Until the start of the next adventure, you are -1 initiative and roll 1 less dice on skill tests. Well, that's not as bad as it could have been. So in this case, her initiative now will be 4, and she's going to roll 1 less dice for skill tests. I'm going to get out a concussion card. So we're going to give Hannah the concussion card. Until the start of the next adventure, you're -1 initiative and roll 1 less dice on all skill tests. Okay, I'm going to make a notation that a building in Lestina is going to be destroyed. And even if we don't visit there, that note will be attached to that city, and the next time we do visit there, we'll find out which building was destroyed. And just checking the display for Lestina, they've already lost 3 buildings already from previous action, so all that they have in the town now is saloon, gambling hall, and doctor's office, and one of those is going to be destroyed. We will be able to roll for repaired buildings, but still. So we're going to head out on the road, and we'll do that in a video in the future. This was really a terrible mission when those 9 of those Lost Army soldiers showed up. Then when they got the advantages for the various darkness cards, that pretty much did an end to anything we were trying to do here. Legions of the Damned came down, giving them +1 initiative and 2 health, and then they had 2 health from another card that was played earlier, Wanted Men. That gave them another +2 health and a +1 to damage, so we had no chance of winning this mission at all. So thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club, and we'll be returning in the future with a different game, and we will come back to Shadows of Brimstone in the future. So thanks for watching, and I hope everyone has a pleasant evening. Good night.